Hi, how are you? This is Rabbi Bregman. I'm on the road right now, traveling. You might be able to tell in the background behind me is a pretty regular, average hotel room. It's a pretty nondescript hotel room. I'm on the road traveling to go see a client. The only thing that's pretty cool about this hotel room is this hypnotic, wavy grass thing that they have on the screen. A little bit hypnotic to look at, but when I'm traveling, often in a hotel, or in an airplane, certainly, where it's quiet, I often have a notebook with me. I record notes, ideas, different things. Somebody had asked me to make a video on the topic of work ethics, share some ideas on work ethic, and specifically some questions you could ask yourself, which might be a way to measure your own work ethic, how you're doing in that area. So here's a couple ideas, a couple thoughts I had. Number one, look, it is true that depending upon the field of endeavor that you pick for yourself, some people might have a more natural aptitude, a talent for one area or another. You know, not everybody has an equal amount of talent to play in the NBA or the NFL, or a personality that might be suited to this field or that kind of career. So that's true. Some people have a higher or lower ceiling of talent. However, I believe that when it comes to work ethic, it's not like talent, and that there is no ceiling when it comes to work ethic and how much work ethic you can instill in yourself in terms of having a good value and a good motor to produce and accomplish. Number one. Number two, I think there are some questions that you could ask yourself, and depending upon the answer, you realize that if there's room to still grow in terms of your work ethic and your drive and your hustle to produce and accomplish, or maybe you're in a pretty rarefied level, okay? Different questions. Number one, does anybody ever say on you, and now I'm going to use the pronoun he, but this could apply certainly to a woman in the workplace as well, she, but does anybody ever say about you that, wow, he is one of the hardest working people I've ever been around? Anybody ever said that on you? Another question, has anybody ever said about you, until you see him, and again, it could be a her, till you see him up close and personal, you can't even imagine how hard he works. Ever said that about you? Nobody ever said that about you. There's probably some room for growth in terms of how much effort you're capable of putting into the things that you're passionate about. Here's another question I wrote down. Traveling, good stuff comes to me. Anybody ever say this about you? When you go out there and compete against him, it could be in work or trying to get a deal or trying to get a client, you better be ready to go for war, because that person's going to bring some real effort right there. Another question is, has anybody ever said about you, that person, wow, he, she, I've never seen them take a play off. When they're working, I never see them show up flat as a pancake. And if nobody says that about you, why not? How come nobody's saying these things about you? It's a good question. And maybe it's room for improvement in your work ethic. Has anybody ever said about you, I've never seen a person that driven to succeed. It's pretty scary. Why not? How come nobody says that about you? Has anybody ever said about you, you do little things in the dark, meaning the wee hours in the morning or the night, that come up in the lights? In other words, that you do things to bring about your goals and your effort and your work. You do the little things that you focus on, the little things in the dark that come up in the lights. I believe that a person is far more likely to run out of discipline, courage, heart, passion, and conviction in life far faster than you are likely to run out of talent. And a different way of saying it is that I believe that our attitudes hold us back in terms of accomplishment far more than our aptitude. So there's some areas in terms of natural talent you can't fix, but when it comes to work ethic, developing an unbreakable work ethic, massive drive, enormous push, an enormous 800 horsepower engine inside of yourself, that's something that I think that all of us can develop if we're clear as to what we want to accomplish. Anyway, those are a few thoughts on work ethic I developed while I was traveling. That's what Trusty Notebook is for. Hope that's of some value to you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share this video. We'll see you the next time. Bye.